welcome back. Our next guest is a foster care advocate, and he is the founder of Comfort Cases, the all-volunteer organization that provides loving care packages for children in foster care. He's here today sharing his very inspiring story. Please welcome Rob Shear.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Comfort Cases, like this sitting here, is a simple backpack. Packed with the necessities that children in foster care need. You say something like this is vital for them. Why so?
Oh, it's so vital. You know, we have over 437,000 children in our foster care system, and most people don't realize they go from home to home. They average about 7 homes during their time in care.
Oh my goodness.
And they're carrying a trash bag. So as they enter the system, they're given a trash bag. If they're lucky enough to be given items, those items are put in a trash bag, and that's how they start their journey.
That is so awful.
Wow.
That is so awful. Like, the fact that you would send a child with all their belongings in a trash bag is really heartbreaking.
And then just pass them along.
Pass them
one home
along.
to the next, to the next.
Now, you have 4 beautiful children.
I do.
That you've adopted, but they started as fosters in your home.
You're exactly right. So my journey's like my children. I started 40-some years ago. There's my amazing in foster care, carrying a trash bag as well.
You were a foster kid.
Yep. And when my children arrived 9 years ago, they all 4 had trash bags. And I thought, how in the world could we be such a rich country and we still allow kids to carry trash bags? And I was told, well, what else should they have? You know, the kids, I speak to kids all over the country, and the one thing they tell me is that they feel disposable. They feel invisible. So you have to understand the statistics that are in foster care. There are 2 out of 3 kids in foster care will end up being dead or in jail.
Oh my goodness.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Well, we're also not giving them any help by putting their things in trash.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid growing up in the system, I turned 18 and I became homeless. Because what happens in the system is when kids turn 18, some states are 19, the check stops. And when the check stops, the house is no longer there. And so I carried my trash bag and I lived on the streets. But the one thing I did differently is that I knew I deserved better. I knew that I wasn't going to be a statistic. So every day I went to school. Every day I stole out of trash cans to eat. But I just knew that I was going to amount to something. And I joined the military. I became something. I made something of myself. And I decided that, you know what? These kids are part of my kids. So I wanted to give back.
Wow. Did you ever? That's amazing.
I mean, honestly, you are such an inspiration. You're an amazing, amazing person. And over, what is it? It's been 4 years now?
4 years. So 4 years ago, during Christmas time, we wanted to teach our kids that, you know what? We're all doers. Each and every one of you, all your viewers, we are doers. Yes. And doers must do. So we decided that we were going to do something and put some cases together. Little did we know that 36,000 cases later, in 36 states, including D.C. and Puerto Rico, we have brought our communities together. Our forefathers built communities for only one reason, and that was for you and I to take care of each other. We have forgotten that along the way.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I want to start building cases right now.
Yeah.
There are so many ways we can help. You say, what can we all do to help? People at home, us here.
Well, you know, I think that there are many ways that all of us can help. Number one, we have to educate ourselves. I tell people all the time, if you cannot foster, adopt. If you cannot adopt, volunteer. If you can't volunteer, donate. See, number one, we have to look at kids in their education. Kids in foster care, only 2% of them will actually graduate and go to a 4-year college. 2% to a 4-year college. That's so unbelievable.
No.
I'm a national spokesperson for a company called Riverbend, which is the first college ever that we're opening up for kids who are aging out of the system.
Oh my God.
You can give back. You can go into your communities and mentor. Find social service agencies. Find some of these kids who want somebody to shoot some basketball or maybe read a book to them. These kids did not ask to be in the system. So we need to make sure that we're giving them what they need.
What did you say the number was? How many in foster care?
So right now we have 437,000 children.
So 2% of
Only
those?
2% will graduate from a 4-year college. The sad things that I see, though, is I see these children who just want a forever home. You know, when my kids walked into my house, the one thing that they wanted was a forever family. That's what I wanted, was a forever family. And my kids They are amazing. They're now, by the way, 13, 11, 11, and 9. And they are the 4 of the most amazing children. But the one thing that they say to me all the time is, you know what, Dad? You taught us this. You must lead by example.
Yeah.
And that's what we all should do.
Yeah. And are they getting involved in your?
Oh, they get
I
involved.
bet.
You know, every time there's a chance to have a packing party, every time there's a chance to come together as a community, my kids are right there.
You know, I think of when we have such natural disasters and how great we are as a nation. We come together and donate and we give, and you know, whether it's teddy bears or cases of water or whatnot. This is a natural disaster in
That's
a
been happening
different
for
way
years.
that
For
this
years.
is
The
not
forgotten
natural.
yeah.
You know, it's the forgotten children. And number one, let's all understand that the system is not broke. It is shattered. I tell my young boys, when something is broke, bring the super glue to Daddy, I'll put it back together. But when it's shattered, we must rebuild it. And we have to rebuild our foster care system. And we're hoping we're doing it one case at a time, and then making sure giving kids the opportunity at Riverbend to get an education, to go to a place where they are loved, wanted, and we're gonna prepare them for their future.
And I'd like to say, I know that you're telling your story in your upcoming book, Forever Family, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I couldn't believe it. You know, goat farmer from Darnestown. We have a book. We have a book out called A Forever Family that will come out in November, and it talks about, you know, our journey from me as a kid who grew up in the system to adopting my 4 children, and then doing what we should all do, which is be doers and starting our charity.
Can I just ask if we have leftover duffel bags, backpacks, are we able to donate those, or does it need to be new, like on packaged stuff?
So first of all, there's certain things that I tell you. There's no such thing as a used book, so we'll take all your books.
Right.
You know, but anything else that you have, we would like for them to be new, especially the pajamas. You know, real quick, I'll tell you, when my daughter arrived in my home, she was 4. She was the saddest little girl until she pulled the tag off her nightgown. And she looked at me and smiled. And I said, Amaya, why are you smiling? She said, Mr. Rob, I've never owned a new nightgown before. That tag changed my daughter's life. We should change children in foster care's life.
You are changing children's lives. Thank you so much.
I almost made it.
You
I
did.
almost made it. Thank you so very much. Wow. All right, so we have our job. Let's go get it done. All right, we're going to come right back. Up next, Grammy-nominated Hillsong Young and Free are performing another one of their uplifting hits for us.
Very inspirational as well. But next, Orly is going to make sure that our DIYers stay organized.